Hello everybody. Good morning to one and all present here. And I am Navya from SMVIT. Today I am here to present certain topics from the internship program that I attended in the month of July. So before moving on, I would like to thank Ashok sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity for being a part of this internship program. So thank you so much, sir. And moving on, I would like to thank the entire Prayojana team for giving me this platform to make us professionally stable for the industry and to meet the requirements of the construction sector. So, so the topics which I'm going to discuss today are waterproofing, repair and rehabilitation of concrete, home inspection, and safety in construction. So the first topic which I'm going to discuss today is waterproofing. So what is waterproofing? Waterproofing is about protecting concrete or building against the damaging actions of water. So virtually all buildings envelopes, particularly below grade areas and plaza decks, encounter hydrostatic pressure from the water during their lifetime. So therefore the use of quality waterproofing system is essential to preserve the water tightness of building environment. So why only water? Why should we do only waterproofing? Is because water is prone to chemical reactions and is a carrier of corrosive corrosive agents. So it causes damages to structures, damages to installations, etc. So classification. 1 minute. The need for waterproofing. So the need for waterproofing is to increase the durability or to make a structure more durable and to make the concrete durable, the hygiene factor, protection of installations and facility. So how does the water enter? So the water enters through the cracks, joints, porous media and defects in the buildings or constructions. So waterproof. What is waterproof? Waterproof is a tendency of a material that keeps the water away from a body and does not allow water under pressure to enter into the material. Then classifications of waterproofing. Waterproofing can be classified into six major types, that is integral waterproofing, reactive crystalline waterproofing, cementitious polymer modified waterproofing, bitumen waterproofing, elastomeric polymer waterproofing, and preform membranes. So the preform membranes can be further classified into the bituminous waterproofing and the non-bituminous waterproofing. Integral system of waterproofing is nothing but it's kind of admixture which you add into the cement. It is like before constructions. It may be of three types, that is the chemical admixtures, waterproofing screed, and crystalline waterproofing. Elastomeric polymer waterproofing is nothing but polyurea, polyurethane, and MMA. MMA is nothing but methyl acrylate and hybrid polyurethane. So application of waterproof materials. The waterproofing materials can be applied in the following 5 ways. That is the brush applied, roller applied, hot weld, heat applied, and spray applied. So the investment versus criticality. Investment for waterproofing is only 0.6% of the total investment for the construction works. So if you neglect this 0.6% of waterproofing prior to construction, then you will have to spend up to 20% for the waterproofing process that has to take place. So this 0.6% should not be neglected. So this is the problems caused because there's no waterproofing and the basements and all are filled with water. There are certain criteria for waterproofing. So why do we do waterproofing, or in what regions where should we do waterproofing? So waterproofing is done in regions where it depends on the water table and depth of the structure below ground level. So if the water table is water table is a little higher, or if the depth of the structure is like cellars or construction anything under the earth surface, then we need to do waterproofing. And it also depends on the type of the structure which we take. So for example, if you're building a pool or in dams, so it depends even on the type of structure your construction. Maybe it may be even tanks. Aggressive agents in soil, so example near to sea where the salinity is high, or chemicals, etc. And construction method, example for retaining walls. So the surface preparation. What are the surface preparations which we have to do before waterproofing is like the surface should be free from loose aggregates, hollow and sharp protrusions. Surface should be smooth and regular. Surface should be sound and solid. Areas of waterproofing. Waterproofing is usually done in two areas, that is the substructure and the superstructure. So the substructure, as we all know, is a structure which is below the surface of the earth. That is, it includes the basements, the retaining walls, and the foundations, etc. The superstructure is the structures which are above the surface of the earth, like the podiums, the wet areas, terrace, and external walls. So this is the waterproofing which is done below the surface. Waterproofing solutions. So waterproofing solutions is the protection of what does waterproofing do? It helps in the protection of pile caps, ground beams, retaining walls, wrapped walls, and water tanks. Integral waterproofing for concrete structures, treatment of joints, repairing leaks. Most commonly used waterproofing materials are, so these are the commonly used waterproofing materials even now, so that is acrylic cementitious waterproofing or crystalline based waterproofing. In olden days, like before this waterproofing has come into place, before in olden days surki was used for waterproofing. So this green roof. Now we have all heard that green buildings are coming into picture. So when you have a green building, then the terrace will have a garden, or it'll have plants and all. So therefore we need to do waterproofing to the terrace. So this is the anatomy of a green roof. So how the green roof exactly looks like, the vegetation, and below the vegetation is the soil for the growth of the plants. Then comes the filter fabric and a drain mat. After that is a waterproof membrane to prevent the percolation of water into the structure. And then comes insulation, a vapor barrier, and a rooftop. Flat roof with an SCC waterproofing layer. So this is a roof with an waterproofing, so self-compacting concrete layer. And then comes the polyethylene film and a vapor barrier. Screed from Create from the cement sand mortar and the insulation, and the base of a roof reinforced with the concrete slab. So the next topic I'm going to discuss today is repair and rehabilitation of concrete. So what are the causes of What are the causes for failures or defects in concrete structure? It may be the structural deficiency arising out of faulty design and wrong assumptions in the loading criteria. And it may be poor workmanship, use of inferior and substandard materials, and negligence in quality control and supervision. So damages caused due to fire, floods, earthquakes, deteriorations and marine environment, damages caused due to abrasion, wear and tear, abrasion, wear and tear, impact and dampness, etc. And then uh, there'll be a damage to concrete which may be due to the settlement of foundations and thermal expansion. So, how can this damaged concrete be repaired? So, the repairing techniques can be classified into three major groups, that is, the injection into cracks, voids, or honeycomb areas, the surface treatment, and removal and replacing of defective or damaged material or area. So, this is the damaged concrete. And so how do we, this is one topic where bonding old concrete to new concrete. How is the old concrete which is damaged, which is bonded to the new concrete? So epoxy resin with a special polyamide hardener combination is successfully used for bonding old concrete to new concrete. So surface treatment to concrete. The durability of a concrete can also be increased, particularly on a surface, by applications of different materials which make it waterproof, hardened, and resistant to chemical attack. So some of the commonly used surface treatments are sodium silicate, magnesium or zinc fluoride, drying oils like tung or linseed oil, chlorinated rubber paints and neoprene paints, epoxy paints, and silicon fluoride treatment. So sealants. So this is the difference between the sealed and the unsealed concrete. This is how it looks. And in case of a repaired cracked surface, the cracks are first enlarged along with their exposed face and are pointed up with the sealants. So they serve as a protection against the passage of harmful liquids, gases, and other undesirable substances, which would impair the quality of concrete. This topic. I'll just go briefly with it. So, home inspection services. What is home inspection? Limited non-invasive examination. So, examination of the conditions of a home, like maybe it's all the examination in the micro level which we do. So this is the home inspection. So the definition for it is limited non-invasive examination of the condition of a home is nothing but connected to the transaction of that home. So the present challenges which we're facing today is before we deliver the key of a house is handed over to the owner, the checks are done at a very macro level. So only the exteriors are checked, maybe the plastering or all that which we see only exteriorly. So only those things are checked. But there will be problems which are at the micro level. So checking these problems at the micro level is called the home inspection services, and this organization plays a major role in checking the micro level problems. Uh,
Actually, what happens in the present scenario? There is no one because the everyone's hard-earned money is invested in homes,
yes, sir.
but the people are not happy with the quality of the work. What they assured in the paper and whether it is given or not given, nobody is able to check scientifically.
Yes.
So there are agencies coming up where, on behalf of either it may be a dimension or some quality issues or anything, maybe if you take a dimensions, whatever given in the agreement, the same dimension should be at the project at the handover of the time, because the users are not engineers, they are the end users. They don't know about the civil engineering or construction aspects. Whatever given by the builders, they are just taking up. Okay, maybe there may be faulty electrical lines, there may be faulty plumbing lines, or maybe the measurements. Lot of issues comes after once they occupy only. On that time, they already made their payments, so the builders are away from them. So they are helpless because of the damages due to the poor construction or not good ethical practices. So these days, home inspector is one of the service they are giving on behalf of the customer. They inspect everything as per the drawing. It is there or not. All the services like electrical, plumbing, and water, all these things are as per the standards. It is there. Example, if you take the wiring, whether as per the standards they are followed the wiring or not. Okay, it should not affect the customer who has bought the man. He will not be happy if he finds some faulty things at the future. You got it, na? This point. That's the reason home inspection services are coming to India. A lot of companies are engaged on that home inspection service. Before taking over the key from the builders, the buyers, they are getting their homes inspected by the certified professionals. Okay, that is the main importance. And before topic, what you are taken waterproofing, that is also required. Lot of people don't know the waterproofing needs to be done, where to be done, and all. They don't have any idea. After then, the structure gets the age of the structure gets reduced, and it affects the overall the life of the structure, and the cost also it gets. Repair cost comes more. So waterproofing is a mandatory activity in the construction. That's the reason we are given the education on waterproofing for the engineers. Yeah, you can proceed.
Okay, sir. So how can this problem be solved? So by getting a home inspection service done, so the main objective of a home inspection is to know that the construction quality from the finished point of view and a ready to move in house. So the methodology adopted is 9 comprehensive inspection categories with 100 plus checks will be done, and fire check, architectural, water, plumbing, environmental, air, electrical, and exterior. All these checks will be done before handing over the house. So there are latest technology and tools are used for waterproofing. Even softwares also will be used. So Okay, so home inspector. So what is the role of a home inspector? So the role of a home inspector is very crucial. Their main responsibility is to make the house go under thorough inspection of all nine categories. Only after which they are eligible to make a detailed report about the defects and the issues. Okay, the common tools that are used for home inspection are the non-contact voltage detector, infrared thermometer, an AC line fault detector, the clamp meter, the moisture meter, and insulation resistant tester. So these are all used to determine the moisture content, any leakage in voltage, or if there's any fault in the electric lines, etc. So use of software. They also use software which allows the inspector and the customer to have smooth and confusion less experience right from the start to the finish. So it is fast and it enables instant calibration, reduces effort, and annotated reports can be availed. So next, the home inspection associations in India are very less. Like it's not very common or very famous in India now for now. So some of the home inspection associations in India are Home Inspector, Check My Prop, and Eager. So this will be developed soon in the future. And the key elements of home inspection. So what are the key elements is first, after an appointment is booked, a checklist is provided. So for example, a checklist. So the example of checklist is here. So this is the components of a dining room and the living room. So it gives the conditions of everything. So this is an example of a checklist. So like that, a checklist is provided, and an inspector which contains predefined set of checks that are to be carried out. The process is done by using advanced tools and technology. After the inspection service is completed, a detailed inspection report is handed out to the customer, only after which the inspection process is to be completed. So this is a checklist, and so this is, I'll just brief about this safety in construction. So safety in construction so is very important. This is one of very important topics. So what are the safety measures which you should take in construction? That is the environmental health and safety. So these are the common things most of them will know. I'll just give you a brief explanation on this. So no smoking or drinking on site. You should not sleep, especially near vehicles, and you should not take any shortcuts to enter any zone. Follow the safe route instructed, and you should not use your mobile phones. Keep it on silent or switched off. Do not walk under any suspected loads. Do not indulge in quarrels with colleagues. In case it occurs, do not respond or report to higher authorities immediately, because it may cause a problem. And do not touch any electrical, as it must be operated only by the expert, and do not touch any loose wires which are left open. Do not throw the tools. Keep them properly while using and store it back in place, and back in its place responsibly. Do not leave the tools unattended. So the basic EHS rules: do not cross restricted areas, use proper tools allocated for specific activity, and helmets, goggles, safety shoes, gloves, and the use of PPE is required, and it's very important. And the general instructions will be wear tight fitting clothes to avoid clothes getting stuck in machinery. Do not stack the materials above 5 feet to have easy access, and use the materials carefully. Do not waste paint, petrol, and diesel. Be mentally present on the site. So this is one of the very important thing. Absent-mindedness will cause accidents.
So each of the construction site, they will have a barrigation. Without anyone's permission, official permission, the unknown people or unauthorized people are not allowed to get into the site, because they don't know about the safety and what are the works happening over there. They have very little knowledge. It will create a nuisance at the project because of unsafe conditions. So whoever wants to go to the project site, construction site, they will first give an orientation on the safety. After the orientation is completed, then only they are allowed to the project. Either maybe a engineer or the public or anyone, workers or anyone, they will undergo strict process on the construction safety orientation. After then only they are allowed to, because our construction, a lot of machineries involved, and a lot of works are involved, dangerous things are there, unsafe things are there. So they have given the proper orientation about the safety, construction safety, then only they are allowed to go into the projects to avoid the accidents, to avoid the incidents. Okay.
So next is the fire safety. So what are the fire safety measures we should take? So fire safety measures nothing but clear away the rubbish around the site, and electrical system comprising of short-term supplies must only be installed by skilled electrician and must be frequently maintained, and plan chosen areas for the waste with fire and emergency procedures in place to curb and deal with the fire before it breaks out, and in safe position, and to have guards fixed. Heaters should not be left on unoccupied. Site compounds that are susceptible to fire is of temporary heaters, smoking, intermittent occupation, clothes drying, waste packaging, and old newspapers, etc. So these will be prone to fire. So next, do not smoke in areas of high fire risk or chosen no smoking areas. Dispose of matches and cigarette butts cautiously. So next, electrical safety. Use of proper plugs. Do not plug in open wires and use proper wire connector. Do not join two wires with tape. So this thing everyone will commonly do, joining two wires with a tape. So that should not be done. And these are the fire safety, electrical safety.
And they have to use the proper electricians. They have to get into the project. See, a lot of places the electricians will not be there. The masons, the helpers, they take the wires and they connect with the temporary switchboards. It leads to the accidents. So in the projects, they have to engage authorized electricians who know the electrical things, and industrial plugs and the wires, proper wires they have to utilize, because a lot of joints will be there. That will be the unsafe points. So electric, to avoid the electrical accidents, we should have proper electricians at the project site, and the industrial plugs should be there, and no joints should not be there at the this thing. And all the people who are working in the project, they should know the electrician. The electrician contact should be given to all the people, so that if any work is getting affected, because a lot of places they will not wait for other one, they will start as if they know everything. Okay, so that is mandatory in the project.
So these are different types of helmets which are used. So the white helmet is used for engineers, managers, supervisors, and foremen. The green is for safety officers. Red is for firefighters. Blue for electricians, carpenters, and other technical operators. Gray is for the people who visit the site. Yellow is for laborers and earth moving operators. And brown is for welders and workers with high heat application. So by this, I would like to end my presentation. um, and I would thank you all for taking your time off and being here. Okay, so thank you, sir.
Good report, Navya.